Hello, everyone. Maple Running here, or you can just call me Nick. Today I'm gonna go over my half marathon. We're gonna talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's start with the good. As you can see right here on the Strava, we got some PBs. The official PB on my half marathon is now, I think, a 74 or 1 hour 14 minutes and 10 seconds, I believe. My watch apparently is 6 seconds early, but maybe that's just because of when the horn goes off versus when the official time starts, and etc. um, so this pace is going to be also a tiny bit off. It's a little slow technically. um, I guess we can get into the race before we start talking about the good, because it's kind of a story. So I guess we can just go down to the splits. Oh, the other good thing is that technically 10K PB, I'm pretty sure. I thought I saw a 10K PB down here. It was a 10K PB of, I think, 33. It was like 33:36 or something like that, which I ran halfway through the race, which, as you can tell, 33:36 is, well, okay, we can just look at the first 10 reps because that's what it is. So went off at 311, then 309, 322, 319. I felt very, very smooth for the first 8 kilometers. I felt incredibly smooth. I think, yeah, this had a little bit of elevation, which is why this is a tiny bit slower. Around kilometer 8, or sorry, it might have been around kilometer 9. That's when I got. So wait, let me just talk about the good. So I felt really smooth. I technically also got the. There's a little hill, and I think I got the little Strava CR thing. So that's a little bit of fun. But I honestly felt very smooth in this race. So I felt like I had the speed, and I felt like even I was in like 8K in, and there was like zero issue. And even by like the middle kilometers, so like, K15 and K16, or well, mostly K15, but I'm still sort of hanging in there, so to speak. And so these felt really good in terms of like body. In terms of turnover, I felt that my legs were able to go at the pace I wanted to, and I felt like the relative effort was like pretty good. I didn't feel like I was straining at all. Okay, let's talk about the bad, I guess. um, so I guess the bad and the ugly are the same thing in this case, but so the bad is around K8 or 9. Where is this? Right around K8, 9. So, like, in this section right here on the map, I got a pretty bad, like, cramp or, like, stitch in my abdomen. And so that, like, I really just even wanted to stop for, like, just a few seconds just to recover. But that was really painful. I kept running through it, and I lowered my pace to like 340, I think, and I kept going. And after about 2K, by the time I got to, I think, by the time I was in this section, by K11, I was more or less fine. For this bit, this was very hilly, very like up and down hills. Like this is just all like an uphill, despite what it says, because it's like all uphill and like then down, which is why, yeah. So this was fine, and then all of a sudden, I started feeling like I really needed water. It was really starting to heat up, and around, I think, here, around K16 is when I needed I drank water for the first time in the race, which I think is my number one biggest mistake, is that I should have been having water more frequently, and I should have had a better plan for water. One of my hubris, I'll say, is that I rarely do runs or workouts with water. Um, and usually, I mean, usually the biggest reason is because I just drink a lot beforehand and then I just go to the bathroom while I'm, out in, well, not a bathroom, but you know what I mean. Out in, when I'm in like the forest or whatever. It's not a forest, but, I find myself a spot and then, yeah. Or I practice, I do go to the bathroom or something. So that was my, one of my biggest issues is that my water intake was pretty terrible. So that's one lesson. Second lesson, I think I cramped because I ate toast the morning of, and usually I'm good with this. This might not be. This could have been like maybe a dehydration cramp. Actually, that's probably more likely. But anyways, point is, cramped in the middle. Maybe because of food. Don't want to rule that option out. I did eat some toast before the race. And I didn't feel it for like the first, and usually I have a fairly sensitive stomach, so that was actually probably more something else because I wasn't feeling it for like the first 8K or something. Once I ended up getting caught, I think around in this section. So on K18 I got caught, and as you see, like my pace sort of just like dramatically slows. It just dramatically like comes to a halt. I get past and I just basically fall apart. I mean, every K gets slower and slower. Like, look at this. We go from like even 333 is like a little respectable, at least like for me. But then we just drop down to 340, 340, 346, 407. I was dying. I was just, and at this point I'd like mentally given up. I thought it's like, man, how pathetic would it be to like give up on like the race like 17K in, and so I kind of just like hobbled for the rest of like the last like few K. That was pretty. I also stopped here. That's also kind of what happened. I did stop and I did drink some water, so yeah, and then I continued on my way, and then I had this wasn't even a kick. I was just moving a little bit faster. Overall, what to take away? Okay, so let's talk about. So this is how the race went. Oh, and actually, the real ugly is that I didn't eat anything after. I didn't drink really any water after. I had a beer, and then I was so like dehydrated, and I was so like I wasn't even hungry. And I was almost vomiting when I, like, a few hours later when I was home. Oh, that was bad. And, yeah, so, remember to drink water. This was full, by the way. Okay, so, let's talk about why I did so poorly, I guess. So, maybe not poorly, but why I didn't hit what I should have hit. Oh, and I guess last thing, if we're looking at like the first half, I felt like I was on pace to run like a sub 72, I think. Definitely a sub 73, but I was definitely on pace to run like a sub 72. And I think part of me was thinking like, man, if it was like a different day and I don't like die, like maybe if the heat isn't as bad and I drink water, maybe I do run a 72 on another day. And I like to think that's true. But at the same time, this is sort of a thing, like when I start thinking about my training these past few months, this is kind of just like expected. Like I had the speed for this kind of like, race. I just didn't have like the full fitness. So when we go to my training log, let's discount this week because this was taper week, but 86 kilometers. If we don't include these, is there a way to only see runs? Let's just look at runs. 86 kilometers. Okay, well, to be fair, okay, there are like some decent rides here. There's like one like longish ride, but besides that, 51 kilometers, 93 kilometers, 92 kilometers, 68, like the 74, 81. This was a rest week. I think I went to, what was I doing here? Was I sick? No, right here, this is when I took like a lot of time off. I had like a big championship race like around here. But this is just like not training that is indicative of running a strong half marathon. I kept thinking like I didn't want to build up my mileage too high because then I didn't think I would be able to like have these key workouts um, that would lead to my race. Like you know, you can build your mileage up and then you can like you can also, and on the other side you can have like these good workouts, but when you put them together, a lot can go wrong, and I didn't want to risk anything. And don't get me wrong, I still had like workouts and like they were still like tough-ish, but or sorry, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had these like workouts, and they're not crazy or anything, but it's just like uh, you know, when we're looking at this mileage, it's just not enough to competitively race a half marathon. And I don't even mean like, you know, if I went out in, let's say, like 3:30s and I did the first half in 3:30s, you know, I probably would have been able to finish the second half in 3:30s, which would give me like a 1 second per kilometer, I guess like a 20-second PB or whatever. So maybe part of the issue in this race is I went out too fast. Definitely very possible, but I just wanted to highlight that I think the biggest issue was the mileage leading up. But that's okay, because now we're going into high mileage time. So is there anything else? Because my training plan is going to be another video. But is there anything else to talk about this race? Like I said, I don't know if I said this, but a few more things. One, right before the race, I was having my heart condition. I have atrial fibrillation. Basically, it's a type of heart arrhythmia, or maybe just arrhythmia. That might be redundant, but I had a lot of heart problems before the race, but actually once it started, I was fine. And this also happened in my OUA race, like my track and field race back in February, where the week before the championship race, I was getting heart problems up until the race. And then once the race started, I was fine, which makes me think that I'm getting like performance anxiety. But like, it's strange because I'm not anxious about the race, but I'm anxious that like my heart is gonna be bad for the race. So it's just like it's just stupid. That's all that. Now maybe I am like, you know, it is. I'm like suppressing my anxiety for my races. That's totally possible. But personally, I was like, you know, I want to win this, but you know, I'm not gonna be super upset if I don't. And yeah, anyways, so second thing I wanted to bring up, so that was the hard thing. Yeah, I led the race for like about 16K, I think I said, and I had a pretty big gap on everybody. I had about like 200 meters, I think, on like second place by like probably about, even by like 14K, I had like a decent gap, I'm pretty sure. I didn't look behind that often. There's only one like turnaround in this section. So where I could clearly see everybody, but I had like about a 200 lead on everybody. So kind of sucks that I kind of collapsed there. But you know what? We live and we learn. Totally fine. I think that's all I wanted to say. All right, well, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, you know, the usual. We'll definitely be back, probably start our training video maybe tomorrow or something. All right, well, catch you later, and thank you for watching.